Hey, coming at you from Joshua Tree. So nice to be in the sunshine. Got a moment to read some more of this book, and yeah, had a little 10-minute snippet while my kids played in a tent. It was so nice. So towards the end, they have a conclusion with 4 different messages. So just a summary of those 4 different messages, because I thought some stuff was great in here. The first message is that there's no magic wand. So sometimes your kid might be crying and fussing and upset, and you try every tool in this book, but it doesn't work. But the key is sometimes all we have to offer is our presence as our children move through emotions. That's on page 216. So an example that happened just yesterday, we drove into the park. So we got into the car and left the campground, and I was with my friend with her 2.5-year-old, and the 2.5-year-old was just freaking out, like, no, leave the campground. No, I want to go back. And it was a half-an-hour drive, and she was fussing and upset the entire time, no matter what that mom did. So that mom just sat with her through the emotions. So sometimes you try all the tools and you got to just be present with them. The second message in the conclusion was, is your kids benefit even when you mess up. And then the key takeaway is to repair it as soon as possible. Like, offer an apology and make things right. So even if you completely lose your temper, which we always do, just realize that you're not perfect, and to repair that. And that leads into the third message. But before we get there, I love this. On page 219, it talks about always be kind to ourselves as parents. Having self-compassion is essential, not only to create an internal sanctuary, but also to offer our children a role model of being kind to themselves as well as to others. But the internal sanctuary, I think that's so huge for so many things in life beyond parenting. It's like, so do we want our internal dialogue to be, beating ourselves up about every little thing? Or do we want to work to create an internal sanctuary? I'll take the sanctuary. Third message is you can always reconnect. So, if some behavior came up and there's a breach in the relationship, or they call it a rupture, to always reconnect. And that's just building the relationship. Put any particular behavior on the back burner and keep your relationship with the child always on the front burner. That the relationship itself is what's most important. An example of reconnecting just happened last night. Our girls thought that we were going to have a campfire right in our campground because they were excited to roast their marshmallows, but we made them walk up to a different campsite where a fire was already going because we were short on wood. But Roxy was really upset about that misunderstanding. So we reconnect and repaired the relationship, and just said, I'm sorry, and explained it all. So the fourth message is it's never too late to make a positive change. So if you find that you're not using the tools in this book or other tools, not to be so hard on yourself, but you can still make the positive change. And I love the neurons that fire together, wire together. So in your brain, in the kid's brain, the circuitry that's repeatedly activated will be strengthened. So if you use harshing and shouting and arguments and punishment and you're rigid, then the downstairs reactive brain is always engaged, and you'll strengthen that, and that's not what we want to do. But if you're calm and loving connection, then you'll activate the reflective and the receptive, strengthening the upstairs part of the brain, strengthening insight and empathy. So that leaves me with the feeling of, that's a lot of pressure to do it the right way, but maybe it's also just incentive and reasoning, the why behind doing it. So this can help them develop an increased capacity to regulate themselves. Yeah, I would love that. All right, those are the last 4 points, but I'll be going back to the middle, but I just wanted to film that. Hope you're all well, and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.